What's up guys, welcome back. So today I'm going to be changing out and testing the alternator on my 2013 Ford Explorer from the police department. It has an overcharging condition and we're going to try to diagnose it. Stick around for the fun as we dig into this. Alright guys, we're back at it. 2013 Ford Explorer. It's been a little bit muddy, you could say, but we have an overcharging condition with the alternator. So I'm going to show you guys how I get to removing the alternator, and then you can take it to the parts store and have it tested on their machine just to make sure that it checks out okay. But with the vehicle sitting off right now, it had a check charging system warning light. So I checked the battery with it sitting right there. It was at 14.1. With vehicle off, with the engine running, it was at 15.6. So it's overcharging and it's hazardous to the electrical system in here. I do believe the internal regulator of the alternator has failed, but I have a spare one from that 2015 Explorer, and we'll see if we can get this off, test it at the store. If it tests out okay, I mean, figure out what we're going to do from there. But at least you guys will know how to remove it from the 2013 Ford Explorer. And I've heard things if it's a 3.7 or a 3.5. I'm not sure. I believe it's a 3.7 because it's naturally aspirated. But let's get in it. Want to make sure you always disconnect your battery post before you continue, because the positive terminal on the alternator is directly linked to the battery. So if we remove the negative, it'll remove any ability for it to shock us down below, because when you use ratchets down beneath there, if you tap it to metal, you end up shocking yourself. So remove your negative post. One of the only major downfalls to working on a sideways mounted motor is the lack of space between you and the radiator and the engine. But with the radiator fans taken out, quite a bit more room to gain access to behind the alternator, where you can unplug and dismantle the rest of it and also remove it this way. There's a lot more room to wiggle and bring it up this way. On the left hand side of the motor here, you come over here. Right there is your tensioner pulley. Right here. And you're going to take a 3/8 ratchet and stick in that square head. There is a slot. I can't point in it because I'll get my hand in the way, but there's a slot at the top of it closest to the camera and one at the bottom. So whichever one you feel is easiest to reach. I'm going to aim for the top one. But you'll pull on it and then the belt will lose tension, so you can take it off the whole entire setup, or at least off the alternator, so you can move forward. So I'll show you real quick. Top side of the alternator there, where my ratchet is, there is a 15mm nut. To take that off, it's a straight post, and then the next to take off the actual post itself so it slides out instead of going through it is a 7mm. It's a little bit precarious and tight. Put my hand around the AC condenser here. If I can zoom in to the actual bolt, I'm gonna try. There we go. It's right there. All you gotta do is fiddle with it until you get it, and just have patience, you can get it. Maybe we're all right. There's your alternator completely removed. One of the things I was able to do, so right here, sorry, I was looking away. Right here, this post basically butts right up against, I apologize, it's going to take a second, right up against the edge of this. So I was able to go just like this between the two of them and pry. And what you're doing is prying this lower edge. It sits in a perch like this. So the whole thing will wiggle like that, but it does not want to come out of that perch. So by prying it, I was forcing it down and then pulling it out, but that worked. So I'm gonna take that to the store, the auto parts store tomorrow, and have it tested and see if it checks out. Sometimes I realize it has the right stuff. Let's get home and get it installed. A new day. So it's actually 2 or 3 days later, but now we have to remanufacture one from O'Reilly's. So we're gonna go ahead and install this and give her a test fire and then run an electrical test on it to see what the amperage is. If it's still too high in the battery from the stored from the last time it ran and was overcharging it, I'll go ahead and disconnect something to do in the ignition system and try to start it to where it basically will crank itself out to lower some of the amperage. You can do that, but I think it'll probably be fine and level itself out. We're going to go ahead and hook this up though and see what kind of amperage we're running. Above cam on, I had to give it a couple of taps with a long 2x4 and the hammer, and with the top bolt in, it pivots off that. The bottom one was lined up completely. I just couldn't get force on it, but giving it the hammer slap tap, I watched it carefully and I could see the slot slowly line up. So now, hold one hand here. It's lined up perfectly in the slot all the ways in, so now we can bolt it down. I just want to quickly try to explain this to you. It's going to seem impossible, but you can do this. The serpentine belt, you're going to get it all lined up on all the pulleys, and I'm holding it taut right now. It's underneath the tensioner pulley, the crank pulley, the AC compressor. The only one that's not on is the alternator. So one-handed, I'm going to release the tension on the tensioner pulley and forcefully put it on the alternator. So just take your time, be patient, and you can do this. So sometimes you can have a mishap happen after you do it. I got it on there. As you can see, it missed some teeth down there. So what I'm going to do is with my left hand, relieve the tension, go through and check each one, focus on the crank. There we go, looks good on the crank. So I'll relieve the tension and try to fix it on the AC compressor and just straighten it up. But like I said, anybody can do this. Just be patient and you can get it done. Okay guys, it's been several months here and I have not. It's been several months here and I actually haven't gotten back to you guys on this, but just wanted to clarify some things. So we got the tester on. Go ahead and prod in our negative. Positive on. We're sitting at 13.7. So with it running, it sits about 14.5. So definitely was a overcharging condition. These alternators are self-regulated. They have a dump section of solenoid in there, so they're actually able to discharge or dump overcharge. And it was bad, so it was overcharging the battery, which if you run too long, eventually will make your battery blow up. It could make it go bad, but it also could blow up, so it's very risky. If you guys have any more questions or anything you want answered about your 2013 Ford Explorer, please hit the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.